Hey, I'm Alex Rockwell. I know I talk a lot about music theory and technique and things relevant to the act of playing guitar, but music isn't all practicing and playing. There's a lot of mundane stuff that we have to deal with, like how to do your taxes if you're a working musician. Today, I'm going to give you 3 unrelated pieces of advice that have nothing to do with music, but everything to do with being a musician. I'm not going to teach you how to do your taxes. Number 1, wrap your guitar hangers. I really like displaying guitars with wall hangers. It makes them convenient to pick up and play, and they're nice to look at. I always liked having them as part of the backdrop in my videos. I have a whole bunch of those hangers. Some are off camera and in other rooms of the house. They're all Gator Frameworks hangers. I mainly like them for the wooden faceplates. The hooks themselves are covered in some sort of foamy rubber material. I sadly learned this the hard way, but that material will eat through the finish of some guitars. Gibson's in particular. Gibson uses a nitrocellulose lacquer finish on a lot of their guitars, and a lot of guitar hangers will eat through that over time. It starts to liquefy it and make it all smudgy. That started to happen to me, so what I've done is cut up squares of an old white cotton t-shirt and wrapped the hooks in them. I've just secured most of them with rubber bands. If I had like a black t-shirt I wanted to get rid of, that might be more visually appealing, but at least the guitars are protected. So, you should do the same if you use wall hangers. Just like any cotton material will do the job. Number 2. Call your Sweetwater sales rep. If you've ever ordered any gear from Sweetwater, then you have your very own Sweetwater sales engineer. For my non-US viewers, Sweetwater is an online music and audio retailer. Every time you place an order, you get a call from your sales engineer like half an hour later thanking you for your order and letting you know that they are there to help with anything you might need. They'll come feed your dog and vanquish your enemies. Now, to most of us, that customer service tactic is overly salesy and off-putting, but it's actually awesome. One time, a close friend and musical colleague of mine told me that he calls up his Sweetwater rep fairly often just to chat about gear and potential future purchases. I was like, really? You actually use your Sweetwater guy? And then a couple years ago, my old studio monitors completely crapped out on me. I had a pair of Mackie CR3s. They were really cheap. I would not recommend them for any halfway professional audio production work. So I was forced into an upgrade, and I figured I'd better invest in something really good that's going to last me a long time. I wasn't thrilled about it because I was not as financially well off at the time. I also didn't know a lot about studio monitors and what to look for. Just researching around a little, I was looking at some Atom audio monitors, but I wasn't sure what size would be appropriate for my space. And I thought, well, maybe I'll try calling my Sweetwater guy. So I did, and I explained my situation to him, the size of my space, use case, the choices I was considering, and he ended up recommending these Focal Alpha 65s. They were a little bit more money, but they were also on clearance because I think they were phasing out the old model. He really talked them up, and he sold me on them. And then he ended up tossing in the cables I needed for free. And I think these absorption pads too. So it ended up working out really well. So moral of the story, if you're making a big gear purchase, call your Sweetwater guy. They know what they're talking about, and you might get a sweet deal. Not sponsored, not affiliated. Number 3, don't write birthday songs. If you're a musician with any amount of performance aspirations, it's hard to get anywhere without having some kind of social media presence. Everybody starts small, and it takes a long time to gain traction. For as long as I have been posting videos of myself playing guitar on Instagram, I have received DMs from complete strangers wanting to commission original birthday songs for their children. I get these maybe twice a year. And at first you think, wow, an opportunity to make money writing music. My social media posting is starting to pay off. But a request like this is 99% sure to be a scam. Growing up, my mom would always tell me that if it sounds like it's too good to be true, it probably is. I mean, if you just stop and think, it's kind of a strange request, isn't it? Here you are, posting videos of you playing little bits of covers, mostly, and a total stranger comes to you, who is not necessarily outwardly marketing themselves as a songwriter, asking if you write original songs. This person has never interacted with your profile before in any way. They followed you 5 minutes before they messaged you. Their profile is set to private. They have 1 post, and the number of accounts they follow far exceeds their number of followers. And their message is riddled with spelling and grammatical errors on top of all that. It's not hard to see there's something very off about this. From what I understand, it's something like a fake check scam. They agree to pay you $300, and then they mail you a check, except they've accidentally written it for a way higher amount, like $3,000. So they ask you to deposit it anyway and send them back the difference. Except the check was fake. Now you're in trouble with your bank, and you've just sent $2,700 to someone who has suddenly disappeared from social media. And I'm sure scammers have figured out a way to do something similar using Cash App or Venmo. I don't know. They never get that far with me. So if you ever get one of these messages, I recommend screwing with them a little to waste their time because they totally deserve it. I had some fun with one last week. They opened with, Hi, do you write original songs? Classic opener. I was immediately skeptical at this point because I've seen this before. So to let them know I was onto them from the start, I said, yeah, do you want a birthday song for your kid? If this person was trying to convince me they weren't running a scam, I would think the least they could say is something like, whoa, how did you know? They replied, yes. I'd like you to write a song for my son. His birthday is in a couple weeks. Just a simple birthday with some details about him. Willing to pay you $300 if that's okay? Yep. Definitely a scam. They use the same wording every time. Just a simple song with some details about him. Just a simple song where you say his name a few times. They're trying to get you to think that this is easy money, so you'll go along with it. And yeah, with those standards of quality, it would be easy money. If it was real, let's see how much money we can get. Well, for birthday songs, I actually charge $100 per second of music. $300 would get you a 3-second song. Not much of a song, if you ask me. If you're able to afford more, I can make it long enough to actually be meaningful. Look, this is how you negotiate prices, okay? Ask for way more than you could ever expect so that when you meet in the middle, you've made a good deal. 2 to 3 minutes song is okay. She must really love her son. Okay, a 2-minute song would be $12,000. Does that sound good? She stopped responding after that. Don't fall for scams. Go ahead and mess with them. There you go. There's 3 pieces of musician advice. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you want to support the creation of future videos that are less dumb than this one, a great way to do that is to buy some exercise books from my store. They're all available in print and PDF. I also teach private Zoom lessons. If that's something you might be interested in, don't be shy about inquiring about my availability. Thanks for watching as always, and I'll see you in the next one.